from across the nation and beyond. It is my immense pleasure to anchor today's national webinar on human rights with the theme Global Contemporary Issues and Challenges, organized by the Avishkar Research Club in collaboration with the National Service Scheme Unit of Manikchand Pahade Law College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Before we dive into our program, let me take a moment to reflect on the profound history and importance of Human Rights Day. The history of the human rights can be traced from the ancient Code of Hammurabi in Babylon, Ashokan Edicts in India, to the December 10, 1948, when the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in Paris, a landmark document born from the ashes of World War II and the devastating horrors of the Holocaust. As we navigate global issues from climate change displacing community to digital surveillance threatening privacy, protecting human rights ensures that no one is left behind, fostering sustainable development and global harmony. To sum up this, in the words of the great leader Nelson Mandela, to deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. Now, without further ado, let's commence our webinar as per the schedule agenda. First, it is my honor to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed resource person for the day, Dr. Vijaykumar S. Chowbe, Head and Professor, Department of Law, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University. Dr. Chobe, your presence illuminates this event and we are grateful for your presence. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Aditi Biradar to introduce our resource person in detail. Over to you, Aditi.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You please proceed.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm really glad to introduce today's very special chief guest, Dr. Vijay Kumar Sri Chowbe sir. Sir is an eminent academician, a distinguished researcher, and a leading authority in the field of cyber law. Sir has made remarkable contribution to the academic world through 9 books, 17 international research papers, and 35 national publications. He has actively participated in numerous conferences and seminars and has also chaired several important. Sir has served as teaching faculty at prestigious institutions such as the UGC Human Resource Development Center in Amravati, the Indian Institute of Mass Communication in New Delhi, and the Maharashtra Judicial Academy in Mumbai, sharing his expertise with students, professionals, and judicial officers. He has been integral part of major committees, including the State Committee for Cyber Law and the Administrative Reforms Committee, and the committee responsible for designing course curriculum on cyber law. Sir has also contributed to the making statute under the Maharashtra Public University Act 2016 with a PhD on legal control of cyber crimes in India. Sir continues to deeply involve in research. He is currently guiding 17 PhD scholars, has signed MOS with various institutions, and remains actively engaged in social relevant researches and innovation. He has successfully completed two major research projects on farmers, suicide, and malnutrition. Additionally, has supervised around 120 distributions and 95 LLM projects. Sir has also efficiently handled important academic responsibilities, including conducting UGC NET and SET examination at SGB Amravati University, with more than 5,000 to 8,000 students appearing annually. He has also been the chairman of university's PATE test committees since 2013. We are truly honored to welcome such a knowledgeable, dedicated, and highly accomplished academic leader as our today's chief guest. Thank you so much, faculty, to give me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi, for that wonderful introduction. Peace can only last where human rights are respected, where the people are fed, and where individuals and nations are free. Moving ahead with this quote of Dalai Lama to set the context for our webinar, I now request Dr. P.R. Girbane ma'am, our NSS program officer, to provide an overview of the webinar, its theme, its relevance. Dr. Girbane ma'am, I request you.
Thank you, Shivam. A very good morning to all. Respected resource person of this national webinar, Dr. Vijaykumar Chowbe sir, Head and Professor of Department of Law, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. President of today's function, our principal, Dr. Aparna Kotapalle Madam. IQC Coordinator, Dr. Professor Abhay Jadhav sir. All my esteemed colleagues and dear participants. On behalf of our college, it's my pleasure to welcome you all in this national webinar on human rights, global contemporary issues and challenges. It is organized jointly by Avishkar Research Club and NSS unit of our college on the eve of Human Rights Day. As anchor of the program, in the beginning has mentioned that 10th December is celebrated worldwide as International Human Rights Day, and reason for celebration is adoption of human right declaration, universal declaration of human rights, and celebration of this day inspires everyone, that is nations, institutions, and even individuals, to work towards justice, dignity, and equality. Every year on 10th December, our college organizes different events, and this year we have decided to organize the national webinar. And the theme which we selected is human rights, global contemporary issues and challenges. So, in today's interconnected world, the world has become more interconnected and it has posed many challenges to the human rights. The challenges before human rights are getting complex every day. Human rights at present, they do not limit to only protecting individuals from some kind of physical harm, but human rights even today they are including within their scope certain other rights like digital privacy may be there, climate justice, gender equality, and many other kinds of complex problems are there, including the healthy environment. Now this transformation, it has reflected reality that as and when society changes, whenever society changes, the way we understand and protect human right, it also needs to change. We have to adopt the change. So the core definition of human right, it is going to be same. However, the challenges which are brought by this 21st century, and whatever is required to deal with these challenges, on that we need to focus. And in that context, this webinar, this conversation which is going to be there in this webinar is very much relevant. Rather, it is very much essential. Every year at international level, some theme is given for human right. This year's theme is our everyday essentials. So our everyday essentials. Now this theme is focusing, it is emphasizing that some of the core rights like safety, food, housing, they are not simply abstract, but they are a foundation of the dignity and well-being of the human being. And considering that our theme, even though the theme is global level challenges before the human rights, but we can connect it with the theme that is our everyday essentials. And we are very much honored today to have with us Dr. Vijaykumar Chowbe sir, who is the guiding force in the field of legal education. And today, Sir is going to enlighten us all on the global dimensions on the human rights, and even he will be covering the contemporary concerns which demand urgent attention and to understand it. Purpose of this webinar is to broaden our perspective and to broaden our understanding related with this topic. And with this, I just stop my introduction. And once again, I warmly welcome you all. And now I request Shivam to continue with the event. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Where, after all, do the universal human rights begin? In small places close to home. Eleanor Roosevelt once said. Thank you, ma'am, for those introductory words that truly capture the essence of today's occasion. We now come to the highlight of our event, the keynote address by our resource person, Dr. Vijaykumar Chowbe sir. Sir, with your vast expertise in law and human rights, we eagerly await your thoughts on human rights, global contemporary issues, and challenges. I request you for the address, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Uh, at the very outset, I just express my inability to join through the network through desktop, which is very friendly, and I will be able to upload my presentation also. But I think that there is some technological glitch. A very warm good morning to one and all those who have joined today on this very auspicious day, when in 1948, as clarified by our anchor, that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights has been adopted by the United Nations, and therefore this day is to be celebrated every year as an Human Right Day. The human right is very vast on its compass, the things that is to be adopted and very best things that the human civilization has ever achieved through their historical evolution in this journey of their development. After two world war, that has given the great lesson to the humanity that there must be something which must be protected and which must be beyond the reach of the we can say that the powerful people who may violate the human right of the all those who are living there, and therefore the United Nations has decided to adopt this human right declaration and to give it to the international community. Therefore, as an introduction, we can just say that human right is nothing but an outcome of the lesson that we learned from the two world war. Definitely the use of weapons, use of nuclear powers, then suppressions, then the grab to take more and more territory, the colonial rules, then apartheid, all those things has added too much content for the outcome of the human right. And therefore, this particular adoption or this particular human right is nothing but we can say that sum total of that particular experience that we have got, and it should not be repeated. The care should be taken that it should not be repeated, and the society, particularly human society, should have something which safeguard the future of the humanity, and that is the ultimate goal of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. No doubt, as already been said from the past Hammurabi to, we can say that several Magna Carta and several stages had been there where we had experienced that an attempt has been done to recognize some sort of the rights of a human people, and so that we can check and balance those particular power which violate the very basic rights of humanity. That is the very long journey, and therefore these particular things we can just say. So therefore we can just say that the basic ideology with which the human right philosophy has been evolved was that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. This is the first article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that all human beings are born free. Now, this particular statement is not in its isolation. They are born free, and therefore, basic fundamentals of the human right is that they are not coming out of any books or out of any government, or it has been not man-made. The human rights are being available to all human beings because they are human, and therefore in that context all other rights that oozes either from any system, either from any book, or it has been given by one person to another, then in that respect human right is totally different, because it says that human rights, all human beings are born free and therefore they are entitled for the human right. And in that context, I'd say, for example, some other rights are there. The source of those rights are some authority, some, we can say that some government, some state, or any other artificial persons from when it is has been oozes out. And therefore most of the time when somebody give you the right, they are having authority to take it back. Therefore in that respect other rights are definitely a package that has been given to you, but the human right is available to all human being because they are human being. That is the only one condition. There is no any other condition that human rights entitlement for the human rights are that because you are human. That is only the one condition that we can say these particular things are there. So this is, I think, that in this respect, that recognizing the entitlement of the human right for every human being, for his dignity, for all sort of right, what he deserve, for the fulfillment of all his wants, claim the resources and have all those particular things which is he is entitled for in this world. This human right has make a very benchmark attempt to recognize these particular things. Earlier, some thoughts was there that these particular rights are coming out of these particular things, or it has been given by one authority to the other, it has been recognized by other, then only the rights are available. This all sort of barriers which compartmentalize these particular things has been now gone away, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights make only condition entitled for the human right. And in that respect this particular movement is really a different one, and therefore we can just say that the human rights are this particular way are totally the new area, new arena, new chapter that has been added to our human civilization. Take for example, if we say definitely under our constitution also we are having the chapter like fundamental right, directive principle of state policy. We are having also the package of certain rights, for example, right to equality, right to freedom, liberty, religious freedom, minority, and all those things, those particular things. But these particular rights are also having certain restrictions because it is coming out of the constitution, and therefore the provision to take away those rights are already there under certain other provisions, that fundamental right can be suspended, taken away, you cannot reach to the court for its execution and all those things. But the fundamental right and human right, they are not contradictory to each other, rather complementary to each other. But human right is very different, very different concept, because it give you all those particular right which you deserve unconditional. Only one condition is that you must be a human being, and that is more than enough for claiming this particular right from any system, from any society, from any other attempting to violate these particular things. So this particular landmark declaration in 10th December 1948 has begun the modern human right movement, we can just say. Earlier, definitely ILO, International Labour Organization, was formed. Several attempts has been made to recognize several sort of right, but they are into the fragments way. Human right is a complete package to realize human as a human being, and therefore whatever his existence are there, that existence ensure this human right package. And therefore this particular attempt of Universal Declaration of Human Right has established universal moral principles, and it is definitely became the benchmark for all other policies or covenants or conventions that has been adopted down on the line. Therefore, right, one things we have to understand that in 1948, when this particular principle has been adopted, most of the state were still under the colonial rule. They were facing several issues, several factors, and due to this particular Universal Declaration of Human Rights, most of the nations became independent. They were started claiming their own self government rule, and they are demanding that they must be ruled by their own government. They must have the choice to choose the government, and so on and so forth. And these principles, with its limited sense, whatever the capacity of the state had been there, these rights have been included in most of the constitution that has been drafted down on the line after 1948. So therefore, in this particular regard, we can say that human right package has marked the new era where all society, all human being has recognized that they are entitled for certain rights and they cannot be taken away at the whims and wishes of the any authority or any state or anything. So in short, if I need to characterize about the human right, these rights are inherent. They are inherent into the every human being and independent of nationality, gender, or religion. Therefore, the artificial barriers that we have created, either the geographical barriers or political barriers, or in any terms, if we have divided this humanity in several rounds, these are not known to the human philosophy and they are independent. Human rights are independent to the nationality or gender or religion. They are entitled and you cannot compartmentalize, you cannot bifurcate, cannot classify these particular human right only on the basis of some artificial thing that is human has created for their convenience. So these particular human rights are basically based upon the equality, dignity, and liberty. These are the basic things that is inherent into the this particular human right package, and it cannot be taken away arbitrarily, though certain restriction can be imposed. They cannot be taken away by any authority by assigning any norms for that particular things, provided that there are certain concessions to the authority to curtail the human right for certain reason, rational reason, for safeguarding the human rights of the other people. Therefore, only one concessions that you are having to take away these human rights of one person to restrict and protect the human right of other person, but safeguarding certain things we can say for saying that in arbitrarily cannot be taken away this particular human right. So this particular human right are definitely has given the new chapters, added new chapters to all these things. Generally, it has been said, for example, Vasak and some other philosophers has divided, or this is that there is a generations of human right. For example, the first generation of human right, which speaks about the life, was the first stage when first generation of human right has been adopted by the society, and then it comes to the second generation where the education, health, work, all these types of right has been recognized by the second generation. Then there was the third generation in which the development, environment, peace has been adopted, and then now we are having in the fourth generation where several other collective rights like digital privacy, consumerism, artificial intelligence right, or climate rights has been recognized. So the people bifurcate or classified this human right into fourth generation, and gradually this one generation to fourth generation has been adopted gradually by the international community, and we can clearly see this development, this evolution of the philosophy of the human right from and very individual rights to the rights of masses. First generation where only limited sense of rights has been recognized, for example, life, liberty, free speech that has been available to an individual. And now we are having the fourth generation right in which we are talking about the digital right, climate change, consumerism. These are the collective rights that has been available to the masses, and these masses have been given certain rights. For example, juveniles, several groups are there, women's right, and all those things. So we can say this fourth generation, when we are into the very advanced stage of the fourth generation, where we are talking about the right and digital rights and all those things. Question arises that what is the significance, why this human right should be there, why we have to talk about when we are having the constitutions, when we are having, if not constitution, if written constitution is not available, we are having certain conventions and all those things. Then in presence of all these things, what is the need of such type of universal declaration of human rights? That question generally people raise into their discussions, that why universal declaration of human right is very important one, and why we phrase these particular things. Generally we can say that whenever it last uh, 200 or so such years, we have seen that several states are fighting for the territories, and they are developing their colonies, and they are deciding the fate of all these people at once. For example, Britain has declared that India is from their side is into the war against the Allied group. So Britishers did not taken us into the confidence, and without taking any consent, any referendum or anything, they have declared that India is at war. So this particular type of decision, which throw all the a big masses without their consent, without their we can say that no consent has been taken, and war has been started and all those things, and for some sort of territory. This type of decision, this type of use of the power by powerful people must be restricted. This type of the atrocities, we can say, should be restricted. These are the one example. Or for example, we can take another example, that whenever state is there, they can decide by their own. They do not take the consent, or do not take into consideration that what their actions are good and what their actions are bad. This human right may be useful as a touchstone for deciding the any action by any authority, whether it is good or bad. So human right has been developed not only to legitimize the human existence, but also it can be used as a touchstone or parameters to justify the action of those who are using the power for taking any action or decision on their part. So we can just say that these are the guiding framework. Means human right, not universal declaration of human right is not only the moral principle, but they are also the guiding framework for framing of the constitution. Means in the small pockets, when states are framing their own legal system, they are taking this as a guiding principle for drafting their constitutions. And this particular universal declaration has further become the base for international conventions for civil and political right, and ICE-SCR. Such type of conventions are founded on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and they are also became the inspirational principles for drafting the constitution and regional law. And it basically declared that the equality, dignity, and justice is the core principle of human existence. So we have not only recognized certain moral principles, but ultimately that moral principles has been further percolated into the legal system. They become the guiding beacon, guiding principles for deciding our policies, deciding our actions, and taking any policy making decisions. These particular things are definitely useful. So then if we see that why Universal Declaration of Human Rights is very significant, because we know that it became the founding stone for several other conventions down on the line. For example, ICCPPR or with Geneva Conventions or human right councils that has been set up. So this importance of the human right, declaration of human right, cannot be underestimated in the growth of these particular things. And this has given the voices to those who does not have any voice against the authority of their own nations or own their society. They got a voice. They can put for example, refugees. They are migrating from one state to other. Take for example, if we wanted to estimate the present number of the refugees, it is 110 millions at present, refugees all across the nation, and they have been thrown away or they have been forced to fly, or they run away from their own country, because this particular country, the conducive environment is not there. We can take several examples as present also. Israel, Hamas, or Israel Palestine war is there, Ukraine Russia war is there, then even the India was also at war with the Pakistan. This type of environment has forced the people to run away. And I will not only speak about the refugees, but there are also, we can say, the internal migration was also there from one or the other reason. The nation like India was also affected by Kashmir issue, then Naxalite issue, then Assam. All those things are there where people were forced to migrate from one place to another for want of their survival, to run away from, for want of the, so that they can just ensure their survival only. So these are the problem which we have to understand at larger scale of the society. If we take the bird of eye view, if we are able to see the earth from the space, and from the lens of the human right, uh, we can see that several issues are going on where we cannot even guarantee that for how long we can survive in this way. If the power has been misused, if the people are not behaving properly, if they do not have any basic principles to regulate their action, then this particular society, what humanity we can say in total, universal human people, human population may not survive for long, because we know that when power has been given to the person, it corrupt that person, and when states are at war for want of something, they can destroy the entire population of another nation. The best example is of the Russia and Ukraine. Why they are fighting? Because due to certain issues, that one person should not join to another NATO, Ukraine should not join to the NATO, or some territorial, we can say that greed that I must occupy certain territories. Even into the advanced stage where we claim that we are very much civilized, most of the civilized nations, they are in war with each other. You can take very best example. Israel is known for, it is a very, we can say that the Israeli populations are very learned, and they are known for their scientific development also, but still their country is at war, and they are just fighting with some sort of things. And we can just see that we cannot sort out this type of issues across the table. That is the mockery of the present population, that despite all resources, despite all nuclear powers, despite all the intelligence and weapons we are having, we cannot drag the other party on the negotiable table to resolve the issues in peaceful manner or by amicable means. So these are the issues that one has to understand, and therefore we can say that these particular things, the human right become more relevant nowadays due to this armed conflict and wars, then forced displacement, then refugees crisis, or feminine or humanitarian emergencies, and rise of authoritarianism, that I must use my power in this way or that way. So these are the few things where the human right become even more relevant. People thought that after declaration of human right, or bringing several conventions in this regard, we may solve our problem. But the problem become more severe now in last 10 years. The people are becoming more fundamentals, and hardly they bother about the rights of others. Certain principles they wanted to impose upon, certain things they wanted to grab, and all those things. So these are the problem that we have to discuss. Now, this is only the introductory thing that I wanted to discuss about, so that I can develop my other assumptions on the point of this key. Human right, despite it was passed in 1948, the Universal UDHR, it was passed in 1948, still it is more relevant in present day. Its relevance has not been gone even after the 75 years. After 7 or 8 decades, its relevance become more and more important, and we need again to rebrush and refresh these particular things to boost we can say the inspiration for the human right. These are the problem that we have to see, that whatever the going on at international level is not a good sign. Several countries are at their war. They are very powerful. They are nuclear. They are having nuclear weapons. Already used nuclear weapon in 1945 on Japan. Two cities of the Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Despite it, it seems that we have not learned the lesson till date. And even both superpower, despite they are negotiating, they are not across the table to negotiate the terms, and the things are going on in this way. So, importance of the human right cannot be ignored, and it's important today as compared to past. And then if you see that what is going on, I mean, suppose for there are other issues also where the human right has to be taken care for. For example, we are having the poverty at one hand, we are adopting more and more capitalistic mentality and all those things. Means we are running behind in such a way that new things are coming up and people are becoming more and more profitable manner. Inflation is there, and taxation by the governments are too much, and this makes the survival too tough for those who are having very limited resources. Apart from that, we are also having some climate change or some other disasters, man-made disasters are there. Environmental protection is required. Loss of livelihood is there. Now we are having displacement and all those things are there, and that require the intergenerational equity. Now, for example, if I am earning whatever in my lifetime, I use all my resources, or I make such hostile atmosphere, how I can carry this particular things to the next generation, what my next generation would have if I use all the resources, resources and spoil all this environment. How much I am able to transfer a better things to my next generation, those next generations who are yet to come, and they also need a good sorts of resources. They also claim the resources that they are having. If I make this environment too much poisonous, it is very tough for next generation to come and enjoy this particular environment. So these are the issues that we need to very carefully, this we have to sort it out. Means we have to make this particular human right as a mission, because these are the fragmented things. Means government, or say, take for example, if whatever rich country I may have, but environment will remain same for the entire universe. And if I cannot breathe properly, my money will not provide any resource to me. It will not help me out if I am breathing into the very harsh environment. That is the problem. Therefore, these basic things is required to be understood by the human society, that protecting the rights, protecting the good environment, climate, and all those things is part and parcel of all our daily life, and we cannot escape from that. We cannot remain aloof, because if suppose, for example, Ukraine and Russia war is going on, we cannot say that India has not to bother anything about it. We can just see that even they are fighting, the oil crisis is there, oil prices are more, and even the one other country, America, is putting some tariff on India, so that the inflation may be more in India, and we have to pay the price for that particular things. Therefore, if two nations are fighting, we cannot say that we are nothing to bother about it. If they are fighting, it will definitely come along our line, and we have to also face the consequences. And whatever things will there, one or the other way, we have to face this problem, even in India also, because we are internally interconnected with each other. We cannot say that India is isolated, or Pakistan is isolated, or Afghanistan is isolated. If something is going on, if some unrest is going on anywhere, that will have the repercussions and implication in India. Therefore, impact of all these things will definitely very hard in day to come. And therefore, it is not the responsibility of one nation, one country, one society, or limited people to pay attention to the human right, but it is the duty of the entire humanity that we have to take care for all this problem, which may affect to entire. If suppose nuclear war or nuclear radiation has been exploded, it will definitely affect to entire nation. The best example is the corona. One nation, the corona get spread over the entire world, and then we have to pay, we had paid prices for that particular things. So these type of issues are there, and we can just see that these particular things are there. Another area which is also creating a threat to the human right is the technological development. No doubt that technology has facilitated too much. It help us. Datas are there which we can very easily manipulate. We can take any data manipulation is possible. It can be transferred from one place to another. We have added speed to the knowledge. We can retrieve the knowledge, and even we can use the artificial intelligence to solve our problem. But at the same time, it is also creating the problem because technology we are not developing in that manner, regulated manner, where the technology is being used only for the good purpose. There are dark side of technology is also there. Pornographic material is there. When we can see that even women have been harassed by using the technology, so much such things are there. Cyber stalking is problem, phishing is a problem, blackmailing is a problem. Now digital arrest, that is more popular, shows that how concerned we are to use the technology. Some good brain who are the very good into the cyber law or the technology, they misuse this technology for committing a digital arrest to the people. So this new environment is also making these issues more serious. So digital surveillance is very much essential, and we must use the technology in a proper way. Definitely, technology as a slave or as a servant is very good, but when it become master, or if it is into the wrong hand, may commit havoc, and people may use this particular technology for fulfilling their greeds, fulfilling their demands, and all those hacking, viruses, all these things are very common nowadays. And using the privacy, violating the privacy of other people, that is again very very problematic. That way we are having, suppose for example, hidden cameras or viruses, Trojan horses can be used to steal the data, not only to steal it, but put a loss to other party. That is also very common. So these are the things that we need to understand about the human right. We are having more concern about the human. We must have the more concern about the proper implementation of the human right. Give such thought. This is not only the moral principle that we, because one or the other way, if we suppose for example, if a theft has been committed in one particular area, and if we do not show or express our concern for that to stop this tendency, then gradually it will going on increasing, and its incremental development or number of thefts more committed will create a havoc into the society, and the people will under constant threat of theft. And then gradually we say that this particular society is not very good environment to live in. Therefore one particular incidences may not be should be taken very seriously, and all these regulations of the human right should be implemented properly at each and every level. Otherwise, we will lose what we have. And it is not only concern from you and me, because we are from the law fraternity. Our responsibility is more. And I will not say that we are only talking about the rule of law and all those things. Rather, we have to speak about the rule of, not a rule of law, but rule of justice. We can see that nowadays courts are having so much pendency. If you cannot ensure justice, and if you are only trying to ensure that legislation should be more, it must be into play and all those things, then you cannot have the good environment, because it is the justice which legitimize the law and legal system. If you can do the justice to the society, those who are required, those who deserve the justice, merely rule of law is not suffice. Rule is a rule, but definitely it must be into the mind of the people that by all means the legal system is making justice to them, and therefore there should not be any unrest. Maximum law. If society have the justice without law, that is even more than sufficient for that. Law is an only instrument. Therefore, I will not say that more law will definitely ensure entire things. Human right is the such things which demand that whatever the people deserve, their dignity, equality, liberty, free speech, this thing should be ensured to them, not only ensured, but taken care that it should not be vanishes away. And therefore, this human right concept does not only speak about that you must give certain rights in some sort of other, but it says that you must have total of environment where this situation exists and people are in position to enjoy these particular rights. In short, I will just say that this particular this situation is very important. We must make our society accountable in the sense that they must be answerable. All systems should be accountable, including the government. They are also should be make accountable. Democratic institutions should be protected, because nowadays it has been seen that most of the time the democratic institutions are losing its relevance. We have fight and we have earned this particular type of system down on the line. We begin with the monarchy, we begin with the, we can say that anarchy, where no government do exist. We have come up to the state of democracy, and we have to achieve the utopia. And we must have the such type of good regulated system where we can have the proper system where every human right of everybody can be ensured. So these particular things are very essential. I will just quote few such things which is the parameter of uh, future human right existence in proper way, that we must make the people accountable, and at the same time the autonomy should also be ensured. We must have the predictive policy making, where we can able to predict the particular things that this will happen. It should not be come out of the blue, from behind the curtain and automatically made applicable. No, there must be transparency. There must be we can say that the predictive nature of all policy. Then masses, their rights and all those things should be respected. These are the postulate rather. And this particular ethical regulation, society must be based on the ethics. That is very essential, because if society lack the ethical principle, no state government or no state can survive. We cannot assign too much hope to the constitution unless and until we are having some sort of we can say that some sort of aspiration for the constitutional principles that has been adopted in our constitution. Merely claiming from the state is not also enough. We must have several such things where not only that what state can do for us or what other can do for us, we must think that we what is our responsibility and how much we can give to the society. These are the few things on the tip. It is only on the tip that human right I am talking about. Take for example, every moment you will find that some sort of the rights has been violated and movements became and the struggle became against the society. Therefore, if you ensure the timely address of the rights of the masses, then we can just ensure the future of the policy and all those things. A few things we can just say, there are something I can just add that uh, apart from that, institutions has also contributed a lot. Constitutional legal system has contributed a lot. Judiciary has also fill up the several gaps into the interpretation. For example, judiciary to be given more credit to encompass several rights within the Article 21. Therefore, the judiciary has also done a commendable job. But looking to the journey from 1948, for example, till date, the situation is not very, very optimistic because the present, despite we have adopted the constitution, we have not adopted the values within our behavior. Unless and until we do not adopt these principles in our daily behavior, or it cannot come out of our own activities, merely expecting too much from any artificial document will not be suffice. We must change and adopt the constitution in our heart and in our behavior. Otherwise, only saying that there is a good constitution, we have seen that our neighbors are there, they are also having the constitution, but what is going on? Their prime minister is inside the jail. Some rumors are there ki nobody was known whether he is dead or alive. The constitutions are there. Unless and until you are having very faith about the constitution, because constitution should not survive you in the books, it must survive you into your heart, your brain, your behavior. And there the same thing is true about the human right. In daily life, I am talking about the international level, but if you really want to watch your activities whether it is human right friendly, start your day with the maid. Such see, when maid servant come, how you react towards her. I have seen that most of the people do not keep the maid servant for work if she is having the small child, because they feel that this small child with her child may create disturbance into their home. How she will carry her small child and how she can think about that she can grown up her child. So the human right philosophy not only important at international level, but even within your four walls, how you treat the people, how you treat your sister, your brother, your mother, those who are those entire things. If you wanted to make the society more human right friendly, begin from the home. Because though international communities are striving hard to maintain the balance, but that is not sufficient. As says, charity begins at home. Several examples are there. When you walk on the street, how you treat the other people, how you treat the other people who are who do not have any, or they are struggling for the survival. Take for example, you may be having the good, well-to family, but there are several people who are depend on you. And if we do not take care of these particular things, if we are into the race to become rich without values, uh, we cannot expect a very great society in future. And definitely, several issues are there. But if we committed to the things, because I feel that it is not human rights are not for only myself or this generation. My child or his child or the other generation to come, they are also expecting too much. And definitely, as we can blame our forefathers that they enter into the world war, and now the forthcoming generation will also blame us that we have used the resources without any check and balance, and we make this particular environment and climate definitely human hostile environment. Therefore, we are not answerable to the present generation, but the forthcoming generations are also having a lot of hopes from us, and we must adopt our action must be in such a way that intergenerational equity must be respected, not only respected, but shall be ensured. So these are so many things are there. These are the day when we can just realize the importance of the human right. And definitely these particular things are so many philosophies are there, but I think that everything depend upon the action of each and every individual, how he inspired and how he is committed about the human right. Definitely human right, again I will repeat, it is an instrument only, one of the instrument that may ensure your great future, great future of the humanity. And if we lose this opportunity, I don't feel that there is any other things that will help us. Otherwise, we are marching towards the mass suicide in such a way. What example we can see from several wars, several big powers, they are enter into the war. So many things are there, and definitely in contemporary period, lot of challenges are there. I will just sum up with one particular example. I had begun my research in cyber law. At that time, the people were having this assumption that technology will help you a lot and technology will resolve all the problem of the human being. But gradually it has been observed that we are such a people, they also use this particular technology in such a way that it became the problem for several people. Those who are very poorly literate in technology, they have been cheated by other. Those who are technological advanced, few of them become the miscreant hackers or cyber criminals. So people may think that we can spread the knowledge with the help of technology, but with the help of this WhatsApp and all those things, we can also able to spread the ignorance also. Ignorance or rumors or all those things are there. The best example, the technology is the best example. It may be useful if you use it properly. It may not be useful, or it may become a curse if you are not using it in regulated and proper manner. So with this, I think that we have to stop here. So many things are there where we can discuss several issues, but due to some technological glitch, I was not able to upload my presentation. So thank you. One thing I just wanted to add, Manikchand Pahad College is definitely a very good place where my memories, we can say that I breathe my memory in my memories in this particular college. Dr. Aparna Madam, definitely we had a colleague, we had started in 2002, Madam has started in 2004 onward. This college has done a great contribution into the legal field. And I remember my those days at Manikchand Pahad Law College. I express my great thanks for extending an opportunity for expressing my thought. But still, I feel that Manikchand Pahad Law College is really good, and it is now in very good hand. Sir has also contributed a lot. Rao sir, CM Rao sir has been engaged in doing all these things. This legacy has been taken forward by Dr. Kuttapalle madam, and I think that in day to come, it will raise to the great heights and may become an inspiring example for other law colleges into that vicinity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. What an
Yes,
insightful and thought-provoking session, covering the history and importance of. My mic is mute. Okay, sorry.
I think the
Covering
two
the
systems
history,
join from one place. Two systems have joined, therefore echo is there.
covering the history and importance of human rights, generations of human rights, differentiation of human rights with others, relevance, significance, and guiding framework of human rights as a guiding framework for guiding light in constitutional framework, predicting policy making, social behavior, climate and refugee crisis, technology, poverty, pandemics, conflicts, and nuclear mutually assured destruction. Thank you, Dr. Chowbe sir, for sharing your profound knowledge and perspective with a personal touch with Manikchand Pahade Law College with us. Your enlightening address was the true reflection of the first article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that is, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Following this, it is my privilege to invite our respected Principal Ma'am, Professor Dr. Aparna Kotapalle, for the presidential address. Ma'am, your guidance always inspires us. Please share your address.
Thank you, Shiva. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Very good morning to everyone. Respected Chowbe sir, all the esteemed faculty members of my institute, especially NSS program officers, Dr. Shirsat sir, Dr. Girbane ma'am, IQSC coordinator, Abhay Jadhav sir, and tomorrow's human rights activists, the budding lawyers who are there with me today. Uh, I would like to tell the resource person of today, who is actually the MP Law College family, as sir has very rather aptly connected you all with the past memories. I must say that it was Professor Dr. Chowbe who started the practice of uh, conducting the street plays with the help of students, with the involvement of students in MP Law College. And I must say, sir, that since then till now, of course, too many achievements are there with the MP Law College, but then the starting point was you, whose vision we started the street plays in the as a part of legal aid activity in our college, and maybe 23 years or more period has gone ahead, but then that particular practice we have continued with. Now coming back to the point, the theme of the particular today's session and sir's guidance on the point, the whole journey of this 1 hour's lecture was really fascinating, wherein uh, I must thank Chowbe sir for the reason that he has taken care of the newcomers, that is first year students. Though the theme was global perspectives, sir had started with the conceptual discourse, what basically these human rights are. Not only the concept, but then sir told us about the generations, how the generations are counted: first generation human rights, second, and how we have reached to the fourth generation, wherein the data privacy issues, etc., that also have been narrated by sir. Moving further, sir has enlightened in today's lecture about we can't remain secluded, rather how far the developments that are occurring at international level are impacting, having affecting and having affect how they are affecting India. Especially the reference was made by sir about the war-like situations and the impact on India. Further, moving further, sir has also told us about the technological developments. Till the time they are there, the technology is there in good hands, there would be no problem. But then Honorable sir has referred to the situations wherein if it turns to get in wrong hands, then what kind of problems that may crop up in the common person's life. Not only talking about the generations, concepts, and the global perspectives, sir has also helped all of us. I know that it is not only the students who have joined here, but the faculty members and academicians from all over globe. I must say, because the link has been shared, but though it is a national level uh, uh, webinar, but then sir has reminded us that there are certain common goals to be achieved. He has linked it with the intergenerational equity aspects, has connected it with ethical aspects that are to be followed in everyone's life, and when it comes to the performance of the responsibilities for the community. He has very nicely narrated about the law, justice, ethics, and the interplay. And if it goes hand in hand, then only the human rights would be protected, giving certain cautions, giving certain, postulates and parameters. Sir has very nicely helped you understand how to predict the future and how to predict the status of human rights in future, giving you certain guiding postulates. Sir has rather ended up with certain illustrations, and I must thank um, Chowbe sir for the same. Um, I must be very, short while giving the presidential address. Rather, the talk would be very short, apart from, narrating the content that sir has mentioned. I just have to make two appeals for all of you, including the students of my institution. As while introducing the theme, NSS program officer has referred to the theme of this year's Human Rights Day celebration and that is our day-to-day essentials. Again, it has its connect with the common goals to be achieved, and one of the goal still remains a challenge to many countries, and that is roti kapda makan, and of course education and medical facilities that also have been counted as day-to-day essentials. In my perception, I think that apart from these basic necessities and the requirements for the sustenance of the human being, our daily essential also includes human dignity. Every individual essentially requires dignified life. And for that dignified life, whatever is to be considered, that all can be considered under the headings of this day-to-day essentials. So in that particular context, I have my first appeal to all of you that this day, which we generally celebrate to sensitize our minds on the human rights issues, now uh, the fire is there in our mind, the theme is clear, and now I would appeal to you that throughout the year we will be working together for this uh, goal to be achieved, and that is our common goals or our daily essential day-to-day essentials, for which the law students may prepare the street plays, they may prepare certain scripts for the awareness campaigns, and they may be helping hand for those who are poor and needy, who are voiceless. So if in my opinion, it would be the outcome of this particular discourse if we get sensitized on this particular issue, and we become the helping hands for those who are helpless, those who are in distress. And the budding lawyers, who else than the budding lawyers can do this? Now, I may take this opportunity to formally declare that we, that is ML&G Society's Manikchand Pahade Law College, would be organizing 2 days national conference on life, law, and ethics, navigating the complexities of organ transplantation, palliative care, and right to dignified life in the month of February. The brochure is in process, principally accepted by the authorities. But why in advance I'm communicating it to you? That I want you to be actively involved in the process. You all, I appeal to all the participants of this national webinar. If you are willing to contribute as and by way of your intellectual contribution, that is, if you want to write papers for the presentation, you can start now. Maybe brochure will take some time, but let us rather communicate it. That is what my intention was, so that you will get adequate and advanced time. So hoping to meet you all on 27th and 28th February, that the date has been decided. And I thank once again Professor Dr. Chowbe sir, who was our former alumni, alumni faculty, and whose words have inspired all of us. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Aparna Kotapale ma'am, for your motivating words that reinforce our commitment to human rights and announcement of the conference. Finally, to wrap up our webinar on a note of gratitude, I request Dr. S.G. Shirsat sir, our NSS program officer, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
At the outset, I congratulate to you all who participated in this webinar on the eve of human rights, global contemporary issues and challenges. So this program was organized by the Avishkar Research Club and the NSS unit of the Manikchand Pahade Law College. For this event, I am thankful to both the units who have taken a pen to find a good resource person for this function. So I am thankful to the Professor Dr. Vijaykumar Chowbe for giving us insights regarding the Human Rights Day. As well as I'm thankful to the Mr. Shivam Savji who has anchored this program. I'm grateful to Aditi Biradar who has introduced the guest, as well as the chairperson who has chaired this function as a president, that is our beloved principal in charge, Dr. Professor Aparna Kotapalli Madam. At the same time, IQC coordinator Sri Abhay Jadavji is also inspiring torch for us. I am thankful for his support. I am also thankful for all the students who have participated for getting the success for this webinar. The examination is going on and therefore the number may be less, but I'm sure that such kind of the program is always inspiring us, motivating us for getting the good excellence. At the same time, I am thankful to all the teaching faculty, non-teaching faculty, our technician Sri Jaiswal ji, Shubham Jaiswal, and all the participants who have contributed something by attending this function. With this, I am thankful to one and all and giving me this opportunity to vote of thanks. Thank you very much and good day.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this enriching webinar, let us carry forward the spirit of Human Rights Day, remembering the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Let's pledge to be advocates for justice and equality in our own sphere. Thank you all for your active participation. Stay safe, stay inspired. Good day and Jai Hind.
We declare that the event is over. Thank you.